Hello! Today we're making something very traditional. It's called Dampfnudeln, and I want to draw a comparison between fresh yeast and dry yeast. Now what the heck is a Dampfnudel? I don't even know how to explain it. It's deliciousness on a plate. It's a huge kind of yeast dumpling, and you fry it and you cook it, you kind of steam it, and you eat it with vanilla sauce. It's heavenly. Now the thing is, in Germany we always make everything with fresh yeast. I know that you have trouble finding it at times, and you do very much with dry yeast, so I wanted to draw that comparison. Let's see what happens to the dough when we use fresh yeast, and let's see how it reacts with dry yeast. Maybe there is no difference at all, we will see. So let's get right to the ingredients so that you know what to shop, and then we'll get to the first step. You need butter, milk, fresh yeast or dry yeast, egg yolks, flour, salt, sugar, whipped cream, and a vanilla bean. Now the first step is that you have to melt your butter, and after it's melted you set it aside so that it can become lukewarm. Another thing that has to become lukewarm is our milk. Now if you do the version with the fresh yeast, you have to dissolve the yeast in the milk. If you do the dry yeast version, you just have to mix the dry yeast with the flour. In both recipes, we have to take egg yolks and mix them until they're light and fluffy together with the sugar. And after that is done, we add the normal milk or the milk with the yeast, and we add the cooled off butter. Combine flour and salt and mix in the wet ingredients. And now take separate bowls, of course, one with the dry yeast mixture and one with the fresh yeast. And then you have to knead the whole thing for a minimum of 5 minutes. It really needs a lot of kneading. And then you cover it and set it aside for 1 hour. Now here we have the dough with the dry yeast, and here we have the dough with the fresh yeast. Let's see what happened. Okay, there is only a slight difference that I see, which is that the one with the dry yeast is a little smaller than the one with the fresh, but to be quite honest, they're both super fluffy, airy. They look good. Yeah, perfect result for both of them, I would say. Now flour your work surface, and we have to divide 6 to 8 portions for the Dampfnudeln, and we have to make sure that they're nice and round. And after that we cover them with a kitchen towel for another 20 minutes so that they can rise again. And in the meantime we need a pot. In that pot goes milk, sugar, and butter. You have to bring that to medium heat. Now here are the ones with the dry yeast, and I think they're a little bit more yellow than the ones with the fresh yeast, and also the ones with the fresh yeast were a little bit easier to form. And then we take the dumplings, you should take about 4, and place them in there and then put the lid on, and that way it creates some steam. Let it cook for 25 minutes, and what actually happens there, because of the sugar and the butter, it caramelizes a little bit and builds a nice crust on the bottom, which is really, really delicious. While the Dampfnudeln are cooking, we get to our vanilla sauce, for which you have to mix the cream with the sugar, place it in a saucepan, and bring it to a boil. And then we have to scrape the vanilla bean, put the vanilla into the pot with the sugar and the cream, stir, and then we have to get to the egg yolks. The thing is, what you have to be careful about, that the whole mixture, once you add the egg yolks, doesn't clot. So we take the cream off the stove, let it cool a little bit, and then while stirring we carefully add the egg yolks, and that is a great and delicious vanilla sauce. And now you see zero difference at all, which is great, because that means if you cannot get fresh yeast, you still have the perfect German result in your kitchen. I would love for you to make the Dampfnudeln at home, and if you do that, then tag me with the hashtag Lily's German Bakery. I'm sure your result is gonna look amazing. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and down below in my description you find the entire recipe, also on my website in the German Bakery section and on social media. I'll see you for the next English video. Take care and bye bye.